Ladies and gentlemen, remember that 3-minute call I covered on my video the other day? Well, what if I told you there's a 10-minute call now? It's the same call, but extended, the full version of it, and we're going to play it on here. Now, for the next 30 seconds, I just want to talk about something. My video yesterday about the phone call, the kid who originally uploaded the 3-minute phone call tried to copyright strike my video, falsely by the way, and thankfully YouTube told him to fuck off. My video is over, this video is going to be 26 minutes long. 10 minutes of it is the call, and the other 15 minutes are me interspersed throughout talking about it. That's fair use, brother. That's what my videos are. You're not allowed to go around falsely copywriting shit and then calling me a bully when I don't accept your fucking apology. So that's all I have to say about that clown. His video's in the description, but I mean, who really gives a shit about his channel? You can go there and watch it for Chris, just like you're here to watch it for Chris. We're here to laugh at fucking Chris, ladies and gentlemen. Stop thinking you own Chris, you copywriting dickhead. Other than that, guys, this is the 3-minute call that I played on the channel the other day, but this is about 10 minutes. And there is more interesting Chris shit in here that the kid was holding out on. You can find out about Chris's time in there, if he has roommates, and Chris goes more in depth on what he said when he talked about being pinned down in 4th grade. So take a listen.
I thought it was good. I like Subway. I figured considering you were working on Sunday, it was like a restaurant or possibly retail.
So this dude edited out a bunch of shit in the first call, and I didn't even care about that. But in this call, he just leaves a bunch of random shit in, and you find out the call's not even in the order that you thought it was when that little 3-minute clip came out. And he decided to leave in the part where Chris, I assume, guesses that he works at Subway. Which, I don't know why you'd leave that in, but okay.
I mean, they're hungry. They're taking their kids out. Kids want to eat too. Among my writing, I've lately written my thoughts and details each and every day in my own little journal, which I call my goddess log.
Yes, we have heard this before. This is what was in the call the other day, but it's really weirdly edited. I thought this was near the end of the call, but apparently this is what they talk about right at the beginning, and it goes into a whole bunch of more shit. So while you might be thinking, man, I've heard this before, just keep listening, because I guarantee you're going to start noticing, wait a minute, yeah, he's saying shit that I didn't hear him say before, because there was a lot edited out of that initial call. Now, none of it's really groundbreaking info, but if you follow Chris, it's probably things you're going to want to hear.
Yeah, I meditate a lot this year, so I know just pretty much every day. I meditate innately, involuntarily, 24/7, 365. So for me to consciously meditate is just for me to go deeper into myself and dive deeper into the cosmos, the universe, the Akashic records, and literally the entire multiverse, and then some.
Yeah, once again, it's just more of Chris's inane bullshit ramblings, but ladies and gentlemen, it's about to get to the point where Chris explains what happens with his 4th grade teachers, and he says something around here that I think is such a beautiful line from Chris. And when it happens, I'll point it out. But you'll know it as soon as he says it.
Yeah. I foreknew and foresaw that I was going to end up in jail anyway. It was just popular amongst the other timeline.
What does he mean when he says more popular of the other timeline? Like, him going to jail was a very popular opinion in Quickville or in C1997? Why was it so popular that he'd end up in jail? I know I'm just looking too far into Chris shit, but I want to know his line of thinking on this. Why is that popular?
Obviously with the detail that was entrusted in testing the one individual, too many people responded too negatively to the rumor just enough to warrant police coming over and everything that happened.
I'm not sure whether I missed it in the original phone call, if this was added in, or if there was too much ambient noise in the background for me to hear in the first place. But what Chris is saying here is that Bella failed the test that he gave her. And the test was that he was going to tell her that he did that to Barb, and if she kept it secret, he would know she was, true and honest. Well, she leaked it, so she's not true and honest. But I think Chris is missing the big picture here, which is that he fucked his mom. And this is what Chris is saying to kind of go back on it and say, yeah, I told that to Bella as a test. It wasn't really real, but she failed the test, and that's what got me arrested.
that day was essentially I soul bonded and cuddled and supportively in mentality and emotional and spirituality talked a lot with Barbara. So essentially I was just boosting her up and healing and cleansing her aura and chakras. And of course, healing and forgiving and all that of her past sins and her regrets. So that is what I did mainly. That was the main attraction.
Now, we already heard this in the first phone call, but I think it's worth mentioning again that this is, again, Chris trying to walk it back and saying that all he did was talked with her and cuddled, and, like, that was the main attraction. Now, what he says with that, I think, is that the attraction for doing all that stuff with Barb was to cleanse her aura and chakras and whatever the fuck. But, like, just, no, Chris, come on now. Well, let's keep going on with the call. Y'all already heard this, but just no, Chris, no.
Well, yeah, I get money donated to me, to my inmate account, and I'm able to add from that into my phone time to make it prepaid. So, yes, the money would be appreciated to help me out. Not only in phone time, but also keep me well in stock with pens and better food. I received a generous donation recently, and I've been enjoying soup. I figured out how to make noodle soup in a bottle, a 20-ounce bottle. Yeah, 20-ounce soda bottle. Not easy, but I had to use a funnel I made.
So a lot of this is initially edited out of the original call in the video yesterday, and there's a lot less of Chris talking about, like, yeah, the money will really help me out to put on my prepaid thing here, and it will really help me out to get markers. And I think the kid edited it out because what he just put there shows that he's probably giving Chris money, and if you listen to my video the other day, you already know what my take is on people giving this fucking literal motherfucker their money. But yeah, I think the dude just edited it out to make himself look better, but so we got that now in the call. It doesn't really prove anything. It's just another topic here. But just remember that there is another voice on the line here asking Chris questions, but the dude edited all of that out. So you just have to kind of assume the context of the questions Chris is answering, and it's not hard to do. But yeah, it's kind of confusing at some points, but that's why I constantly keep stopping the video, because if this is the first time you're seeing anything about the phone call, I just want to give you a quick summary of what I talked about in the first one, so that's why I'm doing this. Let's move on.
But yeah, you're like 26 now, right? Yeah, I remember you dated the 25th. You said age 25, so I put 2 and 2 together. That was a simple math problem, simpler than all the other complicated math problems I could do in my head.
So right there, Chris gives out the dude's age. I don't know why the dude kept this in the video. If you were going to edit out everything else, why not edit out this? But I want to keep this call in its purest form. But yeah, Chris at the end there brags about doing a little bit of math. And you know what, Chris, I'm proud of you. That's showing some people that this jail stint isn't all a lost cause. You are learning some things in there.
I feel more content now that I've identified myself and I know myself a lot better. And I'm able to actually be more spiritually identifying of others and their intentions and so forth. I feel like I'm in a much better place now. It could have been worse. I could have been abused a lot worse.
So at the beginning there, you heard Chris talking about how he's identified himself and how he feels a lot better and can see others a lot better. I think that's just him more going into the God shit, now thinking that he's God. And at the very end there, when he talks about the abuse and all that, well, I assume the question the guy asked him was stuff about his past, but that's where the original call the other day started out from. But like I said, there's other things I've heard that were in the call yesterday already, so like I said, this is just all edited together terribly in a big bunch, so that's why I'm recovering this.
The worst time I was abused, just essentially if you don't count the theoretical X's, all those fakers and haters online, it would have to be the pin me down event in 4th grade. Oh, long story short, the teachers and staff at Centennial Green Elementary did not know how to treat or tend to autistic individuals. So, in a bit of spite against me, 4 of them, including the principal and the guidance counselor, the teacher, the teacher's aide, they all pinned me down on the floor and pinned me down for my wrists and my ankles and even my neck, and the audio recorded my screams and crying on tape. Just like trying to label me as crazy or something. That's stupid.
And that's what I told you all about in the beginning of the video. That's the best part of this call. They thought I was crazy or something. That's stupid. Like, oh man, coming from the guy in jail right now claiming to be Jesus Christ after fucking his mother, that is just rich. I just love the confidence Chris says when he says, that's so stupid, or like, you know that he genuinely thinks that like, how did they think I'm crazy? I'm not crazy, I'm fucking God. It's, oh man, like, I do like that we got a little bit more of like what Chris's opinion was on that situation, where he says they pinned him down and they were just acting cruel because they didn't understand him, when in all actuality Chris was just probably having an insane freak out in rural Virginia in the 90s, early 1990s, where of course, no, these people probably didn't understand autism and like, people with autism and shit. So yes, like I just think I think Chris is holding on to the thing that happened to him in 4th grade, and he's like 40 years old now, and it's still one of those things he brings up all the time, and it's just fucking insane to me, because it's clear that he's never let this go.
Yeah, I know. They almost had me in a mental institution in Winchester, except Bob and Barbara, they were like, nope, we're moving to Midlothian for their schooling and all that.
He's really out of his fucking mind, saying, yeah, they tried to put me in a mental institution. Like, they should have. They fucking should have. And the fact that Bob and Barb said nope, I bet Barb's fucking regretting that decision right now. Like, Jesus Christ. The confidence Chris has in this, just saying this type of shit, like, yeah, they tried, but they failed because I needed to go to a better school in Midlothian, a school that didn't have any special ed classes and made Chris grow up just babying him, letting him pass tests when he was fucking getting all the answers wrong and shit. Like, it's absurd to think that Chris really thinks this way, but like I keep saying, at the same time, he thinks he's fucking Jesus, so it's not surprising, but just when you hear it from the horse's mouth, it's different, I guess, than seeing it in writing and shit like that. It's just mind-boggling that he really thinks like this, and like he's still like this whole everyone was against me mentality.
So that's how that happened, and eventually moved back here, and it was safer in 2000. But just come with me, if you read the Bible, where in my past life, my mom, Mary and Joseph and I, we swiftly moved from Israel to Egypt, because they were like these guys hunting all over the place for me. And then years later, when the angels told us that it was safe to return, then we moved back. Yeah, history repeats. I mean, yeah, you think the events throughout my life, compared with what was recorded and chronicled within the scriptures of the Bible, and yeah, you got a lot of similarities with history repeats, like that one I just gave you.
This motherfucker is comparing the Exodus of Egypt in the Bible to his time having to get kicked out of having to go live in Midlothian because his school held him down for having a bunch of fucking freakouts. I'm not surprised, like I said, but hearing it from the horse's mouth is a completely different thing. Like, I can just imagine Chris sitting there reading the Bible all day, just looking for little slight things that he can compare to his life and just pointing it out and going, see, like they got exiled, I got exiled, we're the same thing. What the fuck?
More than half the time I was like in my room, but yeah, close enough to my parents growing up. Okay, well, essentially, yeah. Anything they offer is.
See, look, I would have loved to know what the fuck Chris said there, but the dude cut it off. Like, he was going into talking about how he was, like, always sheltered in his room, but he was still pretty close to his parents. Any type of Bob and Barb talk from modern-day Chris is interesting to me, because you might get a little bit of info about, like, the whole hidden family life that maybe we didn't know about. Now, I'm just saying, we know almost everything there is to know about Chris and the Chandlers, but there's gotta be some weird shit that, like, you know, only the Chandlers talked about. But then again, Chris would probably have brought it up before. And that's what pisses me off, because maybe he brought up something here and it was edited out. I highly doubt it, but I don't know. If you ever hear Chris talking about Barb nowadays, I'd want to hear about it.
Essentially the line paper, and that's the only thing offered in commissary as well for your letter pads, the ones in the line. I like drawing on ones that are blank without any lines, obviously. The lines will interfere with any drawing.
You can hear little snippets of Homeboy's voice that he keeps trying to cut out, but what Chris is trying to say there is that you can get lined paper at commissary, which is good for writing letters, but he needs actual fucking paper to draw. So, as for right now, Chris is kind of in a sticky situation, so I wonder if people are just going to start sending him paper and shit.
Okay, well, just to let you know, you can send up to 3 sheets of paper. So that's up to front and back, 50 written pages. So if you use 1 sheet of paper both sides to write a letter, you can add 2 blank sheets. They allow up to 3 for all incoming mail. And they do check and they photocopy everything. They shred the original. So I don't know what they're doing to keep the blank paper, because they have given me the blank paper that was included with some of the letters I've received so far.
And there we go. That's something I've wanted to know for a while now, you know. I've had so many people in my comments telling me, yes, I read the letters, and a lot of people tell me they only read them from the people coming in, not out. But I think what Chris says right there is that they photocopy every letter. They're probably photocopying his and theirs. So all those letters Chris sent out, incriminating himself, may get used, funnily enough, if Chris goes to court. So it's really funny to think that the jail, wherever Chris is at in Virginia, has like 35 fucking troll letters just sitting there in their fucking records. It's gonna be there like forever. And I guess they have all of Chris's too, so make that about like 70 of them bitches. That's nutty. Because Chris will get into it here more. He said you'll hear it, but he does go into more detail about the 30 plus people that have wrote him.
Yeah, the majority of them have been nice. I've been keeping count as well. I've also written a little address book, which I've also written both your addresses and your phone number on there as well.
See, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you understand the gravity of what Chris just said right there. He is informing the guy who wrote this that Chris has his address and phone number written down in Chris's goddess log. And if you listened to the call the other day, which I'm pretty sure Chris is going to get to soon, Chris is planning on selling that goddess log. So if you have written to Chris, if you've written like a jail letter to him, odds are your address and phone number is in his goddess log, which he plans to sell. So, fuck. I want to say again what I've said in all my videos. I strongly advise you don't write Chris, because none of your info is going to be protected if you do, because remember, at the end of the day, it's fucking Chris. Yeah, that's just, that caught me off guard that he has every address and phone number written down. That's kind of fucking weird, but yeah, that's just something Chris had to throw out there.
So I've counted like about 32, 34 good bands. Actually, a couple of them were like, just like 2 or just like around 2 of them were like rather cruel or just being jerkish. And there were 3 that just did not list their names or anything on the envelopes. And just like just whatever images, and one of them was pretended to be Robert Shue, my dad. And,
Wow.
His ghost, and tried to talk to me. I saw it coming from a mile away. My foresight did. It's just like, all I could do was just like, just read the part of the first sentence, and I just shred that letter and flushed it into the toilet.
So in that little part of the video, you have Chris talking about the 30 people who've wrote him and that 32 of them have been good, 3 didn't write their name, and some were haters, like the guy you fake wrote as Robert Shue. Now, that part of the call was all fucking chopped up. Like, the fact that that's all together now makes it a lot more, like, it makes sense now, because Chris is saying that he used his foresight to see that fucking his dead dad, Robert Shue, was going to write him anyway, so that's why he flushed it down the toilet. It's just, I'd pay money. No, what am I saying? I wouldn't pay a goddamn dime to do anything Chris related, but I'd be very, very happy if I could see that Robert Shue letter that is in the sewage system somewhere in this Virginia prison. Probably out into the fucking Atlantic Ocean right now. Is that where they dump it into? I don't know. But just, I love that so much. Fucking Robert Shue.
Well, I mean, that's not the surprising. That's not surprising to me. I mean, especially Kenneth. I mean, I gave him permission to post the letters on Onion Farms, which of course then got relayed to Kiwi Farms. Then obviously, yes, I want everybody to know what I realized, that I am literally God, that I am the full reincarnation of Jesus Christ and everything, all of that.
So I assume the context behind that, like, answer from Chris with this guy asking if Chris knows that his, like, letters and all have been posted all over the internet, and that's why he responds with, yes, he told Kenneth he could post it on his shit, and it was relayed to the Kiwi Farms and all that. But Chris is just reiterating that that's fine because we all need to know the good word.
Everybody needs to know this truth. And essentially, I mean, the convention merge I started talking about, like, 3 years ago, that was, like, just one of the 3 events for the entire Judgment Day.
We've already talked about this in previous videos, but my whole thing on Chris and Judgment Day and what he's turned the Dimensional Merge into now is just a way he can try to get back at all the trolls because he's in jail and can't, like, say anything about it. So he's just saying, yeah, the Judgment Day and the Dimensional Merge, it's all together and it all revolves around Chris and we're all going to pay the price one day.
The other 2 being the collective shift and, of course, my second coming. Yeah, but I've got a bunch of those meditative details out as well in my Goddess vlog. I mean, sometime after I get out of here, I'm likely to just lend my entire budget to my business association, my business associate, Hayden Peck, have him do a bunch of scan work and help me to, like, publish it.
Yeah, you know, in yesterday's video, we kind of just joked around about that and said, wow, look, Chris is even, like, e-begging from jail. He's trying to sell this Goddess log, which I bet you a bunch of people will buy. But now it holds a lot more, like, meaning because this Goddess log is going to hold the info of, like, every motherfucking person that wrote him. And he said he's going to give it to his publishing company to write that, like, to publish it. Yeah, I don't know. Chris's crazy diary might be the fucking... might be a kick in the balls to a lot of people if he does end up, like, selling it or doing whatever the fuck. He'll probably just end up selling it to one person and that person will leak it online and you know, it's just the order of events of Chris.
I have, like, a 10-minute limit in which they'll let me know when it comes up to the last minute by a beep on your end, and then on my end out here, you have 1 minute remaining. Yeah, I know, but at least it gives us enough time to then go and gives you time to ask me a few questions or just talk or whatever. Okay, well, I'm sorry I put you under that, but yeah. And yeah, so I'll send you a short letter with a sign she's drawing for your birthday present.
I don't know. Kid is a piece of shit, but it's a pretty dope birthday present he's getting. I will say that.
What happened? I mean, I don't have any bunkmates here, but I've always had Magic Chan and I got a bunch of others. Yeah, I mean, especially since I got my hubby too, and I also have a bunch of my Pokemon allies and a bunch of literal angels and guardian angels and everybody. Well, anyway, yeah, the minute warning came up, so I gotta let you go.
So to the people who were wondering, does Chris have any, like, bunkmates and all that shit? No, he does not. But don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry if Chris is alone or not, because he has all his fucking Magicchans and all. They're there with him now. Chris's crime got Magichan and Sylvana and all them. They all got arrested too. So they're all behind bars with Chris. And on the other hand, Chris has a whole bunch of angels in jail now too. So, like, the Sanchus, the angels. Chris is going to have one hell of a holy army when he gets out of jail.
Yeah, I'll send you a lyrics drawing later. Take care and have a great, blessed day. Go forth in peace and clarity by my power and glory. Yeah, right. Take care. Bye now. The caller has...
So that was the call, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to give y'all a couple of final thoughts on it, but I just want to reiterate one more time that you can't copyright Chris Chan's voice. This is a phone call of Chris. I'll put your video in the description, but other than that, fuck off. I'm not going to talk about you or give you credit. I don't understand what you want credit for. You recorded Chris's phone call. You know, thanks, and if you guys want to go see that shit, it's down below. Other than that, guys, it's really it's really far out there hearing this from Chris. Like, we heard all this shit yesterday, mostly the best parts of this, but there's still a few things that he threw in there that really caught me off guard. Number one being just the names of all the people and the addresses and shit. Like, that's pretty far fucking out there for Chris to just be keeping. Other than that, it was just a lot of retreading, but I think other important things were Chris saying that he wasn't crazy. That was just stupid, for they were thinking he's crazy when he's clearly fucking crazy. You know, Chris is, having those ideas is what makes him crazy. Being able to sit there saying all the shit he does and then saying I'm not crazy is the craziest thing about him. Other than that, this was a pretty long video, but the call was a 10-minute long one. I wanted to get it out there, get some of my opinions out there, and man, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see y'all in the next one. We got some more fun content coming up. I don't know what's on my plate anymore, guys. I'm trying to do so many fucking video ideas. Everyone I've promised before, though, was on the table. Your Meet the Lolcows, your Dragon Lord videos, everything. That's still happening. It's just all this shit keeps popping up with Chris, and I really want to cover it because I know a lot of you are here for that. So, with that being said, if you guys want, check out the smoke show I did last night. It goes into the fucking kid who copyrighted me. It goes into wacky wrestling Twitter and the creeps, the absolute creeps that are in there. But other than that, yeah, guys, I hope you all just have a good day. I hope you all had a good Thanksgiving, and spark one up for your boy, and that's about it. Take care, y'all.